Hi, thanks for joining us for the interview today. Could you please tell us who you are real quick?
Hi, I'm Dr. Bradley Clow, and my company is Clow Chiropractic Office, and we are located in West Melbourne, Florida. We've been there for 30 years.
Awesome. From a legal perspective, what type of business entity is your firm?
We're a C Corp.
What does that really entail?
Well, having a C Corp for us is one, a liability protection. Two, it also allows us to manage our assets more favorably.
Is there any particular reason you chose this sort of business entity?
Well, I think probably the most important thing for us was it does give us quite a bit of latitude when working with the employees, as well as the protection that it renders the owners of the corporation from frivolous lawsuits. That's probably the number one reason. Again, there are tax advantages for the owners as well.
What are the firm's most important contract or contractual relationships?
Most of the contracts that are most beneficial to us, of course, is the lease. We currently don't own our facility. We've opted to lease because the city that we live in, or the county that we live in, has been very dynamic. It's been growing very rapidly, and as the population moves from place to place, we didn't want to be locked into one area with a property that would then downvalue.
The lease, who's the other party with the actual lease?
The lease company that we have is a management group or property management group out of New York.
What are the main terms of the lease?
The lease term is triple net, which means that we are responsible for everything to do with the business entity inside, and even the AC areas we're responsible for.
What's the firm's most valuable type of intellectual property?
Probably the marketing ideas that we have is the most important. We have a very set marketing schedule that we do throughout the year. We have very specific scripting when our staff goes out. So the how to implement that information is the proprietary information that we have. The rest of it as a physician, as a chiropractor, is not proprietary. So that's it. That's our limited proprietary information.
Okay. How did the firm acquire the legal rights to this intellectual property?
We did buy most of the things like our lecture programs that we perform or go out and talk to groups, to companies. We have bought the PowerPoint programs and the associated information that is then handed out, and all those are copyrighted information that we have the right to disperse through our office.
Who is the firm's most essential or important agent?
For us, I guess it would be our front desk assistant. She's pretty much the de facto office manager. Other than myself, she pretty much knows how to run everything. She's not a doctor, so she doesn't do treatment, but running of the office has been what she has done for the last almost 20 years in our office, which is amazing. Most of my staff is over 12 years in employment, which for a doctor's office is exceptional, and I think it's because we do treat the employees so well.
It's very impressive. Is the agent an employee or an independent contractor?
I don't have any independent contractors. She is an employee. Even our associate doctors are employees.
All right. What is the most important lawsuit or potential lawsuit the firm is facing today?
Potential is always that we can make a mistake or miss something and then have a malpractice case. We do our best to, as anybody would, not to hurt anybody and not to miss anything, but we are always doing everything in our power to not defend against, but make sure we do everything we can to check and double check information. So that would be our biggest risk with the patients, with the employees. You always have issues with employees that might be discrimination. Of course, we do our best to have everything written out very clearly for employees, and we have a dispute resolution contract with them, so they have to go to mediation. They agree upon that before they are employed, so that if there is a disagreement, that we can sit down and do our best to remedy it before it has to take legal action.
And with any sort of malpractice suit, would that be likely settled in or outside of court?
We have malpractice insurance carriers that will defend us, and their contract with us is that they'll defend us all the way to court if we do not wish to settle. If somebody makes a mistake, my feeling is If that's a mistake we've made, then the person needs to be compensated. Then reasonable compensation should be given to them. So out of court is always an option. But if we didn't do wrong, I'm one for fighting it to the bitter end, because wrong is wrong and right is right.
Very admirable. What is the firm's ethical culture like?
Besides being a physician, which should do no harm, ethically, our office is always open book. It's always there for all the employees to see. We don't hide anything from the employees, and I think that makes an atmosphere of honesty and caring for both the employees and the patients themselves. And that's been why we've been very successful over the last 30 years.
I think that's all I had for you today. Thank you very much for sitting down for the interview.
Well, thank you very much.